Yeah, I'm gonna take it easy because I don't know what's ahead of me on this, so let's got a little bite.
Yeah?
They put something special in that one.
Are you gonna go back for a second bite of that one?
No, 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 sir. Feeling emotional here.
Yeah.
Oh man, that hurts.
I'm not sharing my milk with you, so
Actually, I was thinking I might reach across the table.
you
No,
got
no,
to.
no shame. I'm ready.
Your mouth's feeling good?
I don't know about that, but I'm okay. Is this gonna take me to urgent care?
No, but it does make for the last little question. Uh, you know, if you eat
Uh,
it, if you get enough of it,
My stomach is feeling weird.
hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Hot Seat. Today we are excited to have Pastor Eric with us. He is excited to be here. We've kind of given him a heads up of what's coming and
A little nervous, a little nervous.
a little nervous, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're excited to just, eat some wings together, get to know you, and just learn more about you. So,
All right, thanks, Corey.
all right. So before we dig into the wings, let's just maybe tell everyone a little bit about yourself. Obviously, we know you're the senior pastor, but just something about yourself and what got you into ministry.
Yeah, so I grew up in Southern Oregon and grew up in a Christian family. Really had a great childhood in Oregon, and then moved out to Colorado in February of 2000, 25 years ago, and started as the youth pastor here and met my wife Amber. We've got 4 kids and really just love the Lord, love family, love the outdoors. Pretty simple guy, but anytime I can be with family and be outside in God's creation, I'm enjoying myself. So.
Awesome. All right. Well, we do have a lineup of sauces and wings in front of us.
Okay.
So the first one here is called just the classic hot sauce.
Okay. Sounds pretty safe.
Yeah, absolutely. Just keep that mindset. They're all safe. It just says chili maple. So enjoy. Number one, we'll take a bite. Again, they are left to right, just like you
Okay.
read. So on your left is number one. If you
Okay.
start on the other end,
We're in trouble.
you might regret it. So if you want more sauce, they're there.
Okay.
Feel free to put a little more on it. So, all right. So you are the senior pastor here, but I'm not sure if you thought you always wanted to be a pastor. But when you were little, what was it that you wanted to be when you grew up?
So I wanted to be a pro basketball player. So that was my goal. That I thought that would be awesome. Pretty unrealistic, but grew up playing a lot of basketball. 8, 9-year-old, 10-year-old was like, man, I got to make the NBA.
So have you always been tall? Like obviously height isn't required in the NBA, but it
Yeah.
helps.
So I was really tall at a young age. Like when I was in 8th grade, I was this height. So I was 6'3" in 8th grade. So I
Wow.
thought I'm going to be really tall, and then I stopped growing. But I was always at a young age tall, and of course skinny. And
Okay. So your son Wyatt, he always is carrying a football around
yeah,
these days. When you were younger, did you always carry a basketball
I
around?
did. Yeah, I was obnoxious to my parents with the basketball. So yeah, I always had the basketball, always shooting hoops in the driveway, and
Okay.
it kept me out of a lot of trouble. Was probably an idol in my life that God dealt with in time, but in those younger years, just having energy to burn, it was good for me to always be shooting hoops. And my older brother, he was always up for playing, so we just were out in the driveway shooting hoops as much as we could. So
Awesome.
yeah.
All right. Well, we'll keep down the wing road here.
Okay.
This one is called Curry Verde.
Oh,
Um,
kind of sounds disgusting.
yeah, that's been my take on it. I'm not a big curry person, but it's Thai green curry hot sauce. So
Okay.
I don't see any warnings on this one, so we might be safe
Pretty
here. So
safe. Okay.
heat wise, not too bad.
Yeah. I'm in for it. I can tell.
All right. All right. So next question is, if you could witness one biblical event, what would it be and why?
Oh, that's a hard question. I think a couple come to mind. I think the Mount of Transfiguration would be pretty cool, where Jesus in his earthly body, and then all of a sudden to be seen in his glory, and Moses and Elijah to be there. And then, of course, the crucifixion. I mean, it'd be really hard to see the crucifixion, but I think to be able to witness that and really understand how much Jesus loves us, that he went to the cross. But if you see the crucifixion, you'd have to see the resurrection. Like,
Yeah.
if it just ended on the crucifixion. So, I mean, that's three. But
Yeah. It's a lot of events. It's hard to pick. But
yeah, yeah,
yeah. It's pretty wild to like when we read the Bible, those are real events, real people witnessing.
yeah,
We're reading it as history, and just to know one day we'll be in heaven and get to talk to those folks.
yeah, amazing.
I think they're going to be looking at us living in these days and say, "What was it like? What was
Yeah,
it like
it's
living in the
true.
last
Yeah,
days?"
yeah.
But some pretty wild events to consider to be a part of. All right, number 3,
Okay,
zesty lemon pepper hot sauce.
okay,
This one wasn't too bad. I did enjoy this one.
okay. Sounds good.
This one says she is hot, tantalizingly tart, and not to be messed with.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, number 3. What is your favorite non-Christian movie?
Okay, so I would probably say the movie Up is I like it. It's great, like husband and wife story, kind of old man story, fun with the family and the kids. A lot of good family memories watching Up. Like I could probably watch it over and over again, but that's a
Okay,
good one.
so good.
Have you seen it?
I have.
Okay.
I have to admit I have. But
Yeah.
I have kids too, so
I know I lost some man cards on that one.
I was gonna ask. Do you have to wash it with a box of tissues?
Yeah, especially at the beginning, like when like the husband and wife have a miscarriage, and it's like, oh, it was so happy, and now it's so sad. Yeah,
Yeah,
but then I'm fine.
yeah. It's a good movie.
Yeah,
One of those good, hearty animations that
yeah.
tug at your heart. So, all right.
Okay,
This is number 4. If you talk to Billy, this is his favorite.
okay.
He loves this one, and you could tell because the sauce is about empty here.
Oh
So,
yeah,
this
he goes
is
for it.
a chocolate ghost pepper chipotle, smoked garlic,
Okay,
raw sugar, ginger root.
okay.
So we'll see what you think. It wasn't my favorite, but it was definitely
Billy's favorite.
Billy's. So.
Okay. That one is good.
I think you could taste the sweetness in it.
Yeah.
It has a little bit of an after
Afterburn.
burn that gets
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna take it easy because I don't know what's ahead of me on this. So
Oh, you're doing great.
I'm not gonna eat too much. I feel like the burn may build.
It may build. They might progressively get hotter. All right. So, what is the most embarrassing moment at church as a pastor?
I've had several, but this was probably 2009 or 2010. We had moved into the new sanctuary, and I was teaching in the section of the Gospels where they need to pay a tax, and Jesus like has them get a fish, and then there's money in the fish to pay the tax. And I was trying to say Huck Finn style, and I did not say Huck, and I started to say the F word, and I got the first part out, and then I'm like, whoa! And I was just so like shocked and chagrined, and the church was just roaring, laughing, and I was so embarrassed. And then like the next Saturday, friend comes walking into church, and he's got an Adventure of Huck Finn copy of the book and hands it to me. But there was another one similar during probably in that same time frame where I was trying to say chicken suit, but instead, again, I cussed. And I'm not one who cusses and cusses in the pulpit, and they were just mistakes.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that those aren't living out on YouTube. I was quick to make sure there was not a copy of that floating around. So
Yeah, that's funny. It's just those moments where your tongue gets tied
oh
up and
yeah,
it's you know what you want to say, but there's just
doesn't
from
come
the
out.
from the head to the tongue is
Yeah.
the wire's getting tripped.
Just the other day, it was like a Sunday morning, and we had a baby dedication, and I met with the family right before service. Was even standing next to them in worship. Got up and did announcements, and my mind went white to the teaching, and I never brought them up for the baby dedication.
Oh,
And I just completely forgot. And then Robert came up to me after first service, and he's like, "Did you forget the baby dedication?" And I'm like, "Nope." And he's like, "Yeah, you did." And then I'm like, "Oh, I did."
yeah.
And the family was real gracious, but they had all their family there, and then so we're gonna reschedule. But
Oh man, just we're all human, right?
yeah,
That's
yep,
that's part of what this is about. We're just wanting to show everyone we are human as well. So, all right, so this is number 5. Los Calientes Rojo.
that's some
Heat,
good pronunciation.
heat, heat level 5 of 10.
Okay,
So it's apple wood smoked red jalapenos.
okay,
So we'll see what you think of this one.
all right,
It's only halfway there, so
okay,
how bad can it be, right?
yeah. It's got a little bit of kick. Stays with you for a second there.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's good.
yeah,
Grows on you a little bit.
it does.
All right. What is the best piece of advice that you've received in ministry? And maybe who did you receive it from?
Okay. So one that really stands out is from Pastor Jeff Figs. He pastors Calvary Chapel Greeley, and he was the first assistant pastor at RMC. And when I first started senior pastoring, he just shared the importance of always putting the Lord first, but also putting our family first. And we had young kids at the time, and really focusing on our marriage and our kids. And he said, loving your wife and your kids is the best gift that you can give to the church. And that always just stuck with me, and then gave me some practical advice like, as a ministry family with young kids, you usually come to church separately. I'd be here at church longer. Amber would bring the kids and then get them home for bed. And Jeff's like, just take the time to help Amber get the kids to the car and make sure they get off safe. And he's like, even if you're talking to someone, just let them know, like, I'll be right back. I'm going to walk my family out to the car. He's like, that's a blessing to your family, but also a good example to the church. And him giving that advice, but also kind of giving a practical, was really, really helpful. And so that kind of stuck with me. And then Jim Etheridge from Calvary Eastside shared with me just the importance of, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Like, try to think through, can you keep this pace for 20 years,
Yeah.
or the pace that you're going, you can only do for a year. You need to make some adjustments.
Yeah.
So older guys giving that advice has been really, really helpful. I still really appreciate it. If I can talk with a pastor that has pastored for a long time and is in a different season of life, there's so much to glean.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Wisdom.
yeah.
Wisdom from being seasoned in
Yeah.
ministry.
Just like these wings.
Just like these wings. All right. Well, we're at number 6.
You excited about number 6?
I'm starting to get excited. How's number 5 feeling for you?
I'm still okay.
Yeah.
A little bit of a burn, but
A little bit of a burn, is it?
yeah.
So you might start feeling things with number 6.
Little tingle.
Yeah, and I'm sure you saw we have some tissues here for you if things get too intense at any point,
Emotional.
and a glass of milk. Um, you know,
Okay,
all right,
let's
number
do it.
6.
Let's got a little bite.
Yeah.
They put something special on that one.
Are you gonna go back for a second bite of that one?
No, 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 sir. I think it's time for a little milk.
All right. So, next question is, what's a surprising fact about you that most people don't know?
I feel like most of those facts are out. Like, share a lot of stories from the pulpit. The invention of GPS has saved my life. Yeah, I'm not super directional. I can get lost, and then I routinely misplace things like keys, Bibles, phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just was wondering. We hunt together, and every once in a while, I've maybe noticed the GPS is your best friend in
Yeah.
some circumstances. But
What are you saying there, Corey?
nothing. I was just trying
Yeah.
to help you out with the question.
Yeah, I would say I'm directionally challenged.
All right, so we are at sauce number 7.
Okay. Is this where I get to opt out?
No, we got 4 more wings here, Eric. This one is jalapeno chico. Says open, pour, enjoy, repeat. Says a hint of lime and smoked jalapeno garlic hot sauce. Does say very hot.
Okay.
How's number 6 sitting for you?
It's still there with me a little bit.
It's still sitting with you.
Yeah.
All right, well.
All right, here we go.
Enjoy. Pretty good.
Yeah, the flavor is good.
You can definitely tell it has some jalapeno in it.
Yeah. Woo.
So I'm really bad about licking my lips whenever I do this. And that's really, I maybe should have warned you. You might not want to lick your lips, but
Okay.
if you do, you
Praise the Lord.
yeah, you praise the Lord, you'll just continue to feel it there for a while. All right, so here's a serious question now that we're turning up the heat here.
Okay.
What do you think is the biggest challenge facing the church today? Not necessarily RMC, but like the church as a whole.
I feel like there's a real challenge to hold to truth, like to hold to biblical sound doctrine. We're at a place where it's really easy to accept culture's view of sexuality instead of the biblical view of sexuality, or take the world's view on life. Like, well, maybe abortion's okay, or assisted suicide's okay, or maybe it's okay for me to take my life. There's one way for salvation, and there is a heaven and a hell. So I think a lot of key doctrines, and more the church is faced with, like, am I going to be a biblical Christian? Am I going to surrender myself to God's word? Or am I going to pick and choose according to my likings? Or am I going to let cultural decide for me? And that the deception is there's churches that are saying, well, that's really not for today. And it's easy to either throw out the truth or be deceived. So I think the challenge is to know truth, know it for yourself, know what the Bible teaches, and be able to spot when someone's lying to you. But with that, I think it is causing us to wake up and have to press in and go deeper in the truth. So though it's the biggest challenge, I also think it could be one of the greatest blessings too. It's harder and harder to sit on the fence and have one foot in the world and one foot in God's word. Like, you've got to choose.
Yeah.
And I think that's really good. But I am concerned that churches teach things that are unbiblical in the name of Christ, and Christians fall prey to it.
Yeah. It's one thing I've always appreciated, and it's actually what drew me to Rocky Mountain is the fact that we teach the Bible. You encourage, and everyone has the ability to put the Bible in their laps, if you will, follow along. And if you say something contrary to what's just simply in the Word,
Yeah,
I believe God's Spirit gives us discernment to
that's right.
rightly divide the Word for ourselves as well. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
not that we're perfect,
Nope.
but teaching the Bible is an important part of, again, just addressing and combating what you're bringing up there. So, how's number 7? You still feeling
You know, 7 was better for me than 6.
it? Really?
Yeah, for some reason.
All right. Well, I'm feeling 7 still. It's still sitting with me a little bit. So we're to number 8. This one has a caution symbol on it. It's called the bomb. And there is a particular thing on here. It says warning. This one has a warning label. This sauce is extremely hot. Keep out of reach of children.
Uh-oh.
So I'm just gonna tell you this one's it's hot.
It's for real.
This
Okay.
one's for real. So
All right.
good luck with this one.
Okay.
You know, and if you want to go back for a second bite, feel free.
Yeah, that's hot. That's like habanero hot right there.
Yeah. That one will make your nose run. So
Feeling emotional here.
yeah, that's it. After this one, I don't know that you taste anything. So though the next two are hot as well.
You gonna have any milk here?
You know what? I'll join you. I'll join you after that one.
Oh man, that hurts. Ugh.
That one is a hot one. All right, so number 8. This question is kind of it's got 5 in 1. So it's kind of an either or. Rapid fire. Sitting in the hot seat. Rapid fire. Are you a morning run or a late night walk person?
Morning run.
Read a book or listen to a podcast?
Read a book.
Sermon prep, is it pen and paper or laptop?
Laptop.
And then are you an early bird or a night owl?
Definitely early bird.
All right. And the last one, coffee or tea?
That's a hard one. I enjoy both, but coffee.
All right. I thought that might be a hard one for you. I see you drink both, and
Yeah.
it seems like it's depends on the time of day.
Yeah. Morning's coffee, afternoon's tea.
Yeah. I'm not sharing my milk with you, so
Actually, I was thinking I might reach across the table.
you got two.
No shame.
You got 2 more to go here.
So everybody knows Faith's in here laughing at us. So
Oh man. All right. So we are at number 9. And this says alchemy peppers,
Ugh.
hop sauce, hopped up on sauce. This is a watermelon ghost.
what in the world's that?
Yeah.
Don't know what to think of that.
It's got a weird taste to it.
Okay, I'm okay. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I'm ready.
Your mouth's feeling good?
I don't know about that, but I'm okay.
Feeling the heat?
This one was worse than this one, I feel.
I agree. I think number 8 ruins the rest. After 8, I don't know that I have any feeling in my in my mouth beyond hot. So, all right. So again, another kind of serious question there in the hot seat. What advice would you give someone considering pastoral ministry?
Ha- This may sound a little bit unusual, but first thing that comes to mind is enjoy it. If you're called and the Lord has put that path in front of you, like do it in the joy of the Lord. And it is difficult and it's heavy, but I do think that it can be very enjoyable to get to see God work, what God's doing in other people's lives, and also what God's doing in your life. First Timothy 3 says, "He that desires the office of bishop desires a good thing," and that's the office of pastoring elder. And if God's put that desire in your heart to begin to serve, also to not despise the day of small things. I think that I was this way coming out of Bible college and school ministry. Like I was ready for big opportunities, and it's like I think everybody wants to teach,
Yeah.
but where God really starts us is with little things. Like I remember I was going to Calvary Chapel Bible College, correspondence, and serving at Calvary Chapel Salt Lake. And I was like ready for big opportunities. And the pastor's like, well, you can show up early and make sure that the sidewalk is swept and that the snow is shoveled and that the church building is clean. And here's a church key, but that's where you're going to start.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay. But it was really good for me and helped me learn to serve. Because if you're not willing to serve and you don't love people, it doesn't really matter uh, how good of a teacher you are.
Yeah.
And so be faithful in the little things, like be faithful at your job outside of the church. Be willing to meet needs inside of the church and let God raise you up in time and just enjoy the process cuz really the process is just as enjoyable as if someday you get to pastor.
Yeah.
I think David enjoyed, looked back on his life when he was a shepherd, and there it goes, man, that was pretty nice. I was able to be with the sheep and protect the sheep and love the Lord. So don't despise that season that is small things.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's perfect advice. It isn't that it's always seasons of happiness.
right.
Um, but you were talking to the staff this morning and staff devotions of just sometimes those seasons of Saul's
Yeah.
are really for our benefit,
Yeah.
and we see the Lord's hand in it, and hopefully it does again just bring us to that place of joy and just His goodness
Yeah.
uh, and faithfulness to us.
How about you? What would you share with a guy that is just starting out?
Uh, I like that. I think it depends on the person. You kind of hit on it with what Jeff Fig shared with you. If you're a family guy, just knowing your family is your first ministry,
Yeah.
and like it is what the Lord has put before us, and how you walk with your family really is that testament, that witness to the church.
Yeah.
And it's easy to want to run out front and, like I said, maybe want to teach or get the limelight and be real ambitious. But I do think it's just patience. Let the Lord do His work in
Yeah.
you, so that He can do His work through you. So
Yeah. It's
yeah.
good. That gave me a little more time too before number 10.
You want a second bite of any of those that we've passed by yet?
I might come back to number 1, but I'm
Oh,
definitely
all
not
right.
touching number 8.
All right. So here's the thing with number 10. We call it. It says on it the last dab.
Okay.
So we kind of got to do here, Eric, is just put just on one small dab. You definitely don't want a bunch on there, but just a dab. I don't know if this one's on the uh
Richter scale.
the Richter scale, that Schofield scale, but it might be somewhere. Oh no, come on. There's
That,
nothing on there. There's nothing on there. Look at that. Look at that.
that's not a dab. That's like a drop of ketchup.
Yeah, it's kind of thick, so careful there.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'll give it to you. So I do think it may be close to the 2 million if it was rated. I know some of the
2 million.
some of the other ones are around that on number 10. So
Is this gonna take me to urgent care?
no, but it does make for the last little question. Uh, if you
Uh,
if you get enough of
my
it,
stomach is feeling weird.
okay, I don't think it'll take you to urgent care, but
Okay, we're doing it.
yeah, here let's cheers.
Okay.
Woo.
Oh man, this is why you've been saving your milk.
Yeah, that milk comes in handy after all this. That one doesn't get you right away, I feel, but all of a sudden it's like there it is.
Get a little bit of this one here.
All right, so the last one, this last question kind of is two parts. So the first is what is your favorite verse? What's your life verse?
Can't think.
That is what makes it so fun.
I like Philippians 1:6.
Okay.
He who began a good work in you will be faithful to complete it.
All right. So while you're sitting there in the hot seat burning, give us a 60-second sermon on that verse.
Uh, God's a great starter and a great finisher. Probably have projects at home that you have started but you can't finish. And God will finish that good work that He started. Just like that finished me off. Number 10. Don't mess with this at home.
Apollo there.
Man.
Awesome. You're gonna he's taking my milk. Can you believe that? Uh, well, Eric, we appreciate you and your willingness to just be a part of this. We appreciate you here at RMC. Glad I got to share some wings with you there in
Thank
the
you.
hot seat.
Thank you. Whew.
You have any final words for those that might be watching?
Thanks for joining us.
All right, guys, we thank you. And, I think our next guest is Pastor John Williams. So we'll catch you next time doing the hot seat.